welcome to Down South Football Podcast post game, man, of the national championship. First of all, congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs on winning the first national championship since 1980. Of course, there were some great plays, some great circumstances. However, we in the building, man, just talking about it for a few minutes, coming at y'all, see what's going on. So I don't know what Ben is laughing at, but
I just seen the Joker post. Only reason we lost is because Georgia scored more. I don't want to hear no excuses.
that what you reading?
Like really, nigga? Yeah. That's really why you lost.
I don't care. I don't care. That's why my social media is on block right now. Anyway, to the game. Everything is on. It is. It's on block right now.
Hey, Renard, real quick. This is a question, a show question.
Yes, sir.
Would this be considered, DSF after dark?
Oh yeah.
Somewhat, but not really 100% because it's the post game, so I just want to make sure.
I just want to make sure how far.
We don't go.
I want to make sure how far I can go. I just want to make sure how far I can go. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Don't
Thank you,
don't go that far. Don't go that far. So,
hey man, first of all, shout out to the media team for their intro. I really enjoyed that.
I liked it. That was this nice little group. It was nice little group. It was nice little.
It was nice. That was nice. It's a nice little touch there, bro. We'll see if we're gonna get the get your Arab guy. Your guys.
I'm gonna chop that up, Dave. Let me see if I can chop that. Let me see if I can do something with it. Let me chop that up. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can do it.
I'm gonna chop you up. You don't come on here and talk about this case so we can
make sure the super pack don't come out. Let me see if I can chop it up for super pack. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the University of Georgia. University of Georgia
is not going to come at you for something that's built into streaming.
I am going to go ahead and take a shot for you guys because 41 years is a long ass time. Georgia Tech has won a national championship in the time frame it took y'all to win this shit. So shouts up to the University of Georgia, man. All the real Georgia fans, man. Salute to all of y'all, man. I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot for you.
Anyway, while he's doing that, moving on, talking about the actual game. We said at halftime that Georgia was going to do something they ain't never done before.
Mm-hmm.
We also said that Georgia would need to. Dave even said you got to get the ball to the Pickens. There was a lot of things that we said that they was gonna have to do that if they wanted, they was gonna have to take it, and they did it. They finally said, I think we talked about in the chat, they finally switched to running their first gap run play, different kind of run scheme play in the second half, and they kind of stayed with it throughout the whole thing. But it was some great plays that happened that were really, really decisive in this game. You're gonna look back at Hall dropping that third down pass, and then them blocking that field goal. But you could tell that it's strictly congratulations to Georgia. But you can tell not having Williams and not having Mechie, a lot of, even though those guys are super talented, a lot of things are kind of off the mark. But you got to give Georgia the heads up or the congratulations about the adjustments that they made with the scheme that they was running on the run, and for the defense actually standing up to what they did. But I will say this: you're gonna hear about who they didn't have, but you got to give them credit for what they did. But fellas, we'll want to go first. Y'all go right ahead. Say what you got to say. And thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Georgia, for the ticket. Appreciate you.
I think one of the things that we left off on was, we mentioned it, during the halftime show, was that they needed to kind of relieve some of the pressure off Stetson Bennett and run the ball a little bit. And they came into it with that focus in the second half. Like we said, the first couple of plays, they came to the second half, they started running the ball. And even once they got up, we talking in the chat, and we both like, hey, they need to go ahead and pound this damn rock, and get the hell up out of here. And, it looked like in the second half, they made that adjustment to where maybe they saw something that they didn't see in the first half, where they started running the ball a little more. And because, they knew, we didn't need Stetson Bennett throwing the ball 1,000 times, but In the second half, they put a little more focal point on the run, and that opened up what we saw in the past game and opened up some of those bigger plays.
Well, what they changed their scheme on the run.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the total scheme on the run, which made a 100% difference in actually with the O. But Dave, what you got, sir?
I guess what I get confused about, where was the offense that Georgia opened up with? Where was it? The one they had in the second half? Where was that the first half? You know what I mean?
Adjustments, like Hard said. You can go ahead. I was just going to say. I mean, it was basically the run game. I mean, Dave, you even said it, and when me and Renard were talking about play calling, I was just saying that straight head-to-head hat hitting on blocking scheme, that's not going to work for Bama. I mean, against Bama, it's not going to work. You're going to have to go to some zone blocking concepts, and you're going to have some cutback lanes for Zeus and for Cook. And when they finally woke up, when Monken finally woke up, James Cook had a 70-yard run.
Tuck.
What?
Dave has a mic.
I thought I did. I guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, but you was like, what happened? You asked me what happened, so I'm gonna tell you what happened. That was the play calling.
Dave,
it was a play calling.
Reclaim your time, Dave.
I relinquished the race.
I have a mic too. I have a mic too, but Dave,
man, I forgot what I was gonna say, man.
First of all, Senator Gardner has the floor.
Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna go mute.
Can I say something? Tuck, is it okay? Is it okay if I go?
I really would talk the whole entire time if Renard would let me.
I guess, but that would make it quick because Tuck still got some things to get off his chest. But I guess the issue I have, man, is where was that urgency in this you showed in the second half? Where was it in the first half? I get it. The first few series of possession, you're feeling each other out. That I understand. But I also mentioned that when Renard asked the question, he said, Georgia wins if I talked about that 50-50 ball, winning your one-on-ones. Nobody has ever beat a Nick Saban team that couldn't go outside them hashes and make a play, make your one-on-one plays. You saw that. I mean, Stetson Bennett, he threw it up there, the kid got it. So, man, hats off to Georgia. Congratulations. I knew you all had the talent to do it. And I knew that Bama had.
Tell the truth, Shane the devil.
I didn't think
tell him what your problem was.
Boy, Stetson Bennett, man. God dog, boy. Woo. Hey, man, congratulations to the kid, man. That's a good story, man. Good story. Walk on kid. Great story. He'll go down in Georgia history, but boy, he ate the Jim McMahon of college football, I tell you. But
the quarterback 85 bass.
Yeah, 85 bad.
A lot of people ain't gonna get that's gonna go for some people.
That's gonna go for somebody head. Hey man.
Did you call that man Jim McMahon?
I mean, I could have said Heineke, but I did do Jim McMahon. At least Jim McMahon.
I mean, he could have said Dilfer, but I mean,
I could have said Jared Goff, shouts out. I mean, Jared a little better. But yeah, I mean, congratulations, UGA, man. All jokes aside, great job. Defense stood up. Second half play calling was the key. That's all I got right now. Tuck, you can have your time back, man.
Look, I mean, we talked to it red in the face or black in the face or whatever. We already black in the face, so it don't really matter. But look, shout out to Georgia. We already said thank you. Shout out to Georgia for doing something that nobody thought you was gonna do. But we thought this was your year to do this. But after that SEC championship game, you put doubts in us. We was like, we don't know what's going to happen. Well, three of us it did. Three of us it did. But for one thing, I am so glad that this Cobra Kai Samurai Ninja Karate Kid shit is over with.
We didn't see it tonight.
I'm so glad it's over with. They can't do this shit no more.
Hold up, I saw it tonight.
They can hang it up with Saban.
Boy, they got Saban on there, boy. With the
Man,
guy.
it was
Well,
all
ain't
over.
wrong, bro.
I just got so tired. I got tired of it, bro. And I can't even watch Cobra Kai no more without even thinking about them doing it. But anyway,
Go back to the game. Thank you.
but yeah, but like I said, injuries did play a big factor. Would it have changed the game? The way Georgia defense was playing, I don't know. They would stop them every so often. And even after the big play that Jameson made, he wasn't in the game after that big play. You never know what might happen. But they again zone blocking against Alabama will get you if you got good offensive linemen that can reach that next level, can reach and go to the next so your backs can make cutbacks and everything. You have a great chance to win because straight line run against Alabama is not going to work.
And you got to look at
and one thing. What really surprised me was what I saw. What's his name? Number 31.
Anderson.
When I saw Anderson getting frustrated, he was getting really, really frustrated.
Yeah, on that last drive, he was.
Yes, and then Battle was getting frustrated. Alabama defense was getting frustrated because they couldn't stop the run. And on the touchdown, my boy, what's his name? Toto.
Bruh, last game of the year, you really doing this? Henry Toa.
I got it right the last episode. Anyway, I got it right at halftime. I've been drinking a little bit, so
just say number
Toa.
That'll help you out.
Toa was way out of position. I mean, he knew it was a blitz call, but he couldn't find Bauer. It was so funny. It's not funny for Alabama fans, but it was funny because he was all out of position. He doing like this. And Bauer, how you miss Bauer's big ass standing right there to the right, and all you had to do was just beat up. Perfect play call. I'm glad Monken had some cojones, you know what I'm saying, to call that play because they sold out. It was 3rd and 1. And they sold out for the run, and they didn't. Bennett just threw a little lollipop pad like he been throwing all game, man, and they went up under it. So,
and I think also, it's gonna go, us that dive into the game and we get deep into the game, we're gonna notice it. But Georgia's red zone defense in this game was fucking remarkable, man. Like, to hold them to one touchdown when they had multiple opportunities to go ahead and put this game away. For me, that was huge, man. That defense definitely came out and showed pride. Was like, they got on they bend but don't break shit. Like they didn't get flustered once things got inside the red zone, and they still buckled down to keep them out of the end zone as much as they could, man. And that was just as much as a, winning formula as anything else that they've done the whole game. Because, we know when Bama get in the red zone, a lot of times against a lot of teams, that's 6. And Georgia held their own, man. They didn't get flustered, they didn't get bothered, and they kept them out the end zone as much as they could besides that one possession.
Well, the greater question, the greater answer to that is also like you put a defense like Georgia inside that box, right? And at that point, they wasn't really worried about too many of the threats outside of what they was. Like it was just a lot of things that went wrong. But on the Bama front, you got to give them all the credit in the world for being in this game. There was just some crucial plays, even the pass to Holden out there on that in the touchdown, on the pass to Hall. It was really, really just bits and pieces that it was like whatever. Because I'm telling you, the whole state of Georgia was cussing Stetson Bennett when he fumbled that ball, Alabama. I mean, I'm talking about the whole world was like, you know what? That's just.
Bro, I'm mad at the rest because I'm like, y'all really. I'm like, my man arm was going forward. Y'all really gonna go with
the ball was backwards.
That ball was spinning. That ball was spinning. That ball started spinning left to right, and I was like, yeah, that's a fumble, bro.
And I'm just like, come on, man.
And then they were making so bad though. Branch wasn't even trying to recover the ball.
He wasn't even trying to recover shit.
Like,
that was some nonchalant shit, man.
But
I was like, this is crazy.
it was like a sequence of some plays that really came into it. The block kick was a big deal right after Hall dropped it. A lot of different things, man, that kind of worked in their favor. But I mean, the matchup was a good matchup, but it came down to a few crucial plays on each side, some good adjustments made by Georgia, but some good adjustments by Bama. It's just they didn't capitalize. The guys didn't capitalize on the adjustments that was made. And on some plays that they could have had, because you talking about like the red zone, like, hey, that ball was pushed out a little bit because of the pressure. So Holden didn't have time really to get it. The touchdown to Bowers on the 3rd and 1, just out of outstretched hands. Football's a game of inches. So
and the drop that 84 had, remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hall. That's what I'm talking about. Hall with the drop for the field goal block.
And Mitchell. Don't forget Mitchell's catch on the free play. You know what I'm saying? Because that easily could have been a drop pass. We see guys all the time go up, try to catch it and hold on to it, but they don't continue with it all the way to the ground. Mitchell continues with that catch, even though it was a free play. We don't know what Georgia would have done if, he drops the ball. We don't know if Georgia would have still continued on and scored on that. So by him going up, contesting it, holding on to it to the ground and following it through, that was just as critical as anything else.
And at the time, when number 6 from Bama grabbed number 5 from Georgia, that was a good play, because he would turn around, he didn't know what to do. He said, "I'm trying to grab anything," because that would have been a touchdown too. But it ended up happening anyway. But Kool-Aid, he's got to get better. The junior college transfer number 6, he's got to get better for Alabama. Now you lose. Like, I know we're probably pivot into next year, some later down the show or whatever. But I just really think that the cupboard is far from being bare at Alabama or Georgia.
Well, first of all, this wasn't supposed to be their year anyway. This was the year that they were supposed to go like 10-2 and all that kind of stuff. And then next year,
talking about Bama.
Talking about Bama. Yeah, next year was supposed to be the year that they would do that, because they ain't losing nobody.
Right. Yeah.
Because Bryce is a sophomore, Will Anderson is a sophomore. The bottom line, them two will be 1-2 in the draft right now. They could go.
Yeah, right. And the only issue you're gonna have a little bit is offensive line, because you're gonna lose, because he's a top 3 pick right now. For
Evan Neal. Evan Neal.
And then you got J-Mo gonna be gone. Minchie gonna be gone. Those receivers are gonna step up, but they're athletes, so I ain't gotta worry about that. We still got Billingsley coming back, and then Holden, we got Holden coming back. So
you think Mitchell and Williams are gonna leave?
Yes,
both.
You got to. I mean, there's no you got rings. You're not. If they were trying to go for a 3-peat, maybe I say they stay, but they got rings. That NFL money is not gonna. That NFL money is gonna call them. And then again, what else do you have to prove?
I mean, we'll see, because we're gonna do a little preview on what's next for Bama and what's next for UGA. But I mean, it was a tough game on both sides, man. Like, either side could have won. To me, Georgia gets a little bit of props because they won the game, but it's just like it just proves again, like it could have went either way, man. You wish Bama was healthy, but Georgia wasn't all the way healthy.
Right.
But it didn't happen in game either, But sometimes it's just your year.
And to that point, we've seen and I'm just gonna leave it at this. I'm not gonna go with anybody. You can just take this however you want to take it. We have seen injuries in national championship games that have impacted those games. And it happens. As we know, football, it happens. It's injuries, man. So it's kind of one of those situations where things happen in the course of a football game, and you usually got to just power through, because at the same token, the way you want to speak of one injury, you didn't have any touchdowns at the time of that injury, and you did score a touchdown after said injury. So, it's kind of one of them things where, let's not discredit, what happened and place it all on injuries, because as we both know, both teams had people that were in and out of the lineup.
I will give Alabama a little bit more grace about the fact of when it happened and how it happened. When Mechie got hurt, it was, they won an SEC championship and they had time to get it together, had time for other guys to step up. But to me, it was just a battle of two Titans. And sometimes injuries happens and adjustments happens, and you play that game 10 more times, it might be split.
Right.
5 more times. It's just when it happens in your night, kind of like in whatever that year was, 2017, 2018, when Tua came in. Most times that goes a whole different way.
A whole different
you don't know. It could have been a whole different story. So it's just like, it's just the game of football, man. Inches, adjustments, things happen. And shout out to Georgia, man. Shout out to Bama. They coming. Bama gonna be right back here, dog. That ain't. So it's like they ain't really mad for real. Cause they weren't even, like I said, they didn't expect that this year. And Bryce put them on their back when they was deficient in a lot of different areas. You know what I'm saying? And just like we said, how long we been saying this UGA year? They don't do it this year, then when they gonna do it?
And the crazy part about it is, and Dave and Tuck and we all can say that. We said that from once the season got rolling, I think we all collectively said, like, look, they don't do that. If they don't do it this year,
because I took a step back this year on Georgia. I took a step back and I looked.
You did.
And I looked at the roster. I looked at this kid. Hold on now, no, don't do that. I did.
I'm just joking.
I took a step back. And I was like, you know what? The way they schedule set up, the way everything is building, if they get past Clemson,
the rest is straight.
They can take it.
Right.
But they broke my heart in the SEC championship. They broke my heart. I'm sorry, guys.
The way it looked.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Tuck. Somebody just put a what now? What am I trying to save face about? Dabo Jr. He said I'm trying to save face. How am I trying to save face? What do you
put
mean?
The comment up? I can't see it. Put the comment up.
I'm sorry, sir. He said that someone trying to save face. He said Renard's like he's trying to save face. Number 1 ranked team, Heisman, Defensive Player of the Year. You not there by mistake, sir. First of all, if you would just take your mouth and your eyes off. Hold on. I'm talking. Hold on, Ben. You can come. Hold on. If you would just take your eyes off Clemson for a second and understand. What do you mean? I'm talking about the expectation they was not supposed to be there this year because they were replacing so much with Bryce and everything else. Ain't nobody. It's not about saving face. How am I saving face when I had Georgia?
Yeah, you was like the only one. You did.
I was the only one the whole playoff. What you mean by that? But anyway, I digress.
This is Dabo Jr. right here.
I mean, Renard. Now we all got to back with that because even as we was talking in the pre-show, you was like. I'm not as convinced as y'all. I'm rolling with it. You even said it before we ended the cast. You was like, I'm rolling with Georgia with this, man. I hear what y'all saying, but I'm gonna roll with Georgia. So it's like you're not really trying to say that.
I mean, to be honest with you, we was all splitting hairs.
Right.
We was all splitting hairs. We were just like,
I mean, we hope they do.
We don't know what's gonna happen. I mean,
right.
it can go either way.
Right.
But because Nick Saban trying to turn things into reverse rat poison. Like I said, what Renard was trying to tell us, or what he was trying to bring a point was that Alabama was not supposed to be there this year. And it wasn't. Because, to be honest with you guys, and I said this in the show before, we need to go back and play this. If Jameson Williams is not on this team, guys,
it's a different team.
We're talking about, what, 3, maybe 4 losses?
I ain't going all that. I'm gonna let you.
I'm just saying
because your last name is
Williams. This team is totally.
I mean, they should have had 3 losses with it.
That's what I'm about to say. We know
that's what I'm gonna say.
We literally came within a step out of bounds of 2, for sure. So, and that's with it.
I'm just saying, bro. Well, without Jameson Williams, we really talking about a different Bama team. Now, if they were young and they built up their skill players,
and they're gonna be right back.
Now because those same kids tonight got some experience.
They're gonna be ready to go next year.
Those kids tonight got some experience. So now you got game experience. You got national championship game experience with Brooks with the number 84.
Hall.
Hall. Hey, Hall looks like he's supposed to wear 84 because he hasn't earned his stripes yet. That's what it is. He just look like he's supposed to be wearing 84 right now.
Holden.
Bolden.
Yeah,
and
then you got your Heisman Trophy quarterback coming back. The
On
only
top of
issue
Bryce.
you're gonna have is offensive line.
And you're going to be the favorite.
Defense, you ain't got nothing to worry about on defensive line. Linebackers.
Hey, no, what is N'Kobe? Is N'Kobe gone too? He out.
He gone, bro.
I know Davis was out. Is N'Kobe out too?
N'Kobe who?
Dean.
He out too.
Yeah, fifth year senior.
I don't know. I think he'll senior or junior. I can't remember what
He just a senior. But he has an option to come back because of the COVID year.
No. And then he
It ain't gonna happen.
he had a decent game tonight. Nah, he ain't coming.
Nah, I mean, the secondary for Georgia should have grown up a little bit tonight because they played way better in the second half. They played way more aggressive.
Not with Crispy Kendrick back there.
Hey, Kendrick
he almost got burnt.
What you
Brooks
say?
almost took it to the house on him too. I was like, here we go.
Hold on, what you say, Ben?
Huh?
What you just say?
Brooks almost took it to the house.
He turned his head on the overthrow. He didn't get caught.
Bruh.
No, I didn't hear what you said. What did you say, Ben?
I said he made a couple plays. Kendrick, you talking about Kendrick?
Crispy Kendrick.
Crispy Kendrick, he ain't make a couple plays. The ball got overthrown.
Yeah, the ball.
Brooks dropped a one-handed catch.
He did.
Hey,
he was in phase.
Dave said it best.
That's what
Dave
Kirk said. He was in phase.
Hold on. Hey, Dave said it best. Kendrick, the only man that been in 4 playoffs and it got burnt all 4 playoffs.
Look, hey, look. What Kurt said to him? He was in phase. He said he was in phase. Like,
I don't get it, man. I
don't know where I'm
it,
going,
but
but I'm looking for that motherfucker.
But that's all I know.
He was like,
that's all I know. But look, we gonna not hold everybody tonight, man, because we're gonna do some shows and some recaps on this. Dave,
yo,
what's your thoughts on what's your final thoughts on this, man? So we don't.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Here's my final thoughts because I know that Bama fans are gonna have their side of the story. Yeah, but as I think back to 2009, Colt McCoy got hurt in that Texas game. First drive. So if it was you claim that national championship, they lost their starting quarterback.
Don't do it now.
So hey, take it on the chin. Great season. You had a young team. Really wasn't expected to be there, but you all made it. Great season. Hey, just get ready for next year.
And Dave, to your point about Colt, that they like to forget, Colt had never missed no game up until that point. He was
it. Yeah,
he was the show, the party, and the after party for Texas. That was it. So it was like losing him at that moment in the first damn drive. Like they like to forget that part.
It is, but in the end, congratulations to Georgia. We knew somebody had to win, somebody had to lose, and that's just where we are. And now we move into continuous craziness with the transfer portal, more recruiting stuff, more movement that you're about to see. There's a lot of stuff that's about to happen. We still have a second signing day coming up. So college football don't never stop, man. And unfortunately, now we do not have a voted on playoff to look forward to. We're gonna do a whole show about that too, since they shot that down today.
Couldn't agree on the number.
Well, they not only they couldn't agree on a number, each person involved wanted to have their own Christmas list, as Greg Sankey said, like you can't get your whole Christmas list when it comes to this. So yeah, so
it's going to happen though.
It's gonna happen, but it ain't gonna happen right now.
Year from now,
this is what's going to happen. This is the politics part of it. They're gonna say, no, I don't want this, I don't want this, but then they're gonna say, like, okay, people want this. Let's go ahead and let's push this through. Let's go ahead and bite the bullet, and everybody gets not everybody gets what they want, but let's come to a common center so we can get this thing done. But guys, I'm gonna ask you this question real quick before we get out of here. Would a 12-team playoff have stopped this?
This right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No,
I think so.
Not necessarily, possibly, but it's
I think so.
But so it's like this though. It's like this. Here's the thing about it. You don't get a 12-team playoff because I've heard this argument about it still being the same 2 teams. It's no different than the NCAA tournament. You don't really say that because of that, but you get it before the 15 beating the 2 or that team making it to the Sweet 16. It's the whole entirety of the whole process.
And I tell you what, something like what happened tonight with Jameson, with that injury, you get that injury in an expanded field.
Yep.
You never know.
Things happen. You never know.
Because even if you look at Bama's close games, or if you look at the game that they lost, if Jameson Williams is not there, you know what I'm saying? So if you give an extra game to where things like this can happen, well, it's the game of football where things like this can happen and somebody can get injured, or even if they're not out, quote unquote, for the rest of the season, even if they're injured for the game, you know, when you add that factor into the equation, I think that, you know, especially when you're already down a man that was very important. Yeah. I really think that
if we go about just the rankings from this year. All right. So you think Alabama will beat BYU?
Alabama beat who?
Alabama will beat BYU.
Okay. I agree. I give you that one.
Okay, so then Michigan would have to play at Michigan State. That would be actually kind of interesting because they're Big Ten. So 3 versus 10. So Georgia versus Utah, Cincinnati versus Oklahoma State, Notre Dame versus Ole Miss, and then Baylor versus Ohio State.
But look at it like this, though.
Those are good games.
You also including the fact that the couple of those first round of games going to be on campus. Who don't want that Ohio State and Utah game we just had on campus?
Nobody.
Why you don't want that on campus?
No. I'm saying if it's the opposite, you don't want that because you going into the shoe. You already know, man. Like
I would rather have that game and that income and that money and that TV going on campus. If by some miracle, like if Alabama has to play in the first round, you don't think that the economic impact of that, or someone that's playing like a 12, that's the 12 seed or whatever is playing, let them get that particular money. You're doing it for the whole product. You don't expand just because you're worried about the championship. You expand because you're doing it for the whole product and saying that at least there is some type of inclusion.
And that part I like. And that part about it, if we include that, I like. But like I said again, if you are Utah and you know you got to go to the shoe, it's like, I'm happy that I'm here, but it's like, man,
Oregon won in the shoe. Don't forget that Oregon won in the shoe this year, though.
But if you're Utah, do you really want to go to the shoe?
Well, what'll be different? Utah used to play in cold weather.
But also the provision on the table was also if it's too cold of a weather, then the game can be moved because of cold weather, be moved to a dome. You still could do that. That was still a provision.
It's 2021. Logistically, they can make everything happen. It's not a problem for this to happen. Hell, you put a bubble together for the NBA teams to play.
Shout out to the Los Angeles Lakers for winning the bubble title. Shout out.
So I'm just saying, and then you got Dave down here. You got Dabo Jr. saying it's too many games. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Well, hold on.
Too many games.
Here's my issue with the too many games argument. We still claim national championship when folks won 10 games, right? When folks won 11 games, right? Then they said it was too many games when it went to 12. Then they said it was too many games went to 13. Now you got teams going 15-0. But now y'all want to talk to me about too many games? Cut something else from the regular season.
Yeah. Hey, cut one of them. Cut one of them.
Do something like that. Season. There is a way to do it. There is a way to do this. The problem is people don't want to change what they're comfortable with. So you're comfortable with your team playing 12-13.
Yes, you did. You say it's too many games ending in blowouts. That's the same thing as you saying. That's the same thing you saying. There's too many games.
You can't help blowouts. You can't help nothing. But it's not about that. If that's the case, then hell, go back to the BCS and just let 1 versus 2. If that's what you really feel like it, then what?
And technically, BCS got it right this year too.
I can't help what happened in the semifinals. You can't help how it ends up.
Right.
You can't help what happens whether it's in the NFL or anything else. But do you at least want to put your team out on the field and say, hey,
I'm just trying to.
you don't know what's gonna happen. You told me that that somebody in college football world predicted Georgia winning by 15 tonight.
But look, even if we go back to the BCS, you still would have ended up with Bama and Georgia.
Exactly. You still would have ended up with Bama.
They still would have been 1-2.
And
I mean, there would have been no.
Cincinnati
would have been 2, and neither would have Michigan.
Look,
and your opportunity is there. Your opportunity is there to play the actual game.
What blowout would you would have seen besides maybe Alabama BYU? And that's a big ass maybe. What blowout would you would have seen, Dabo? Nothing. Those games were equally matched up that I called out. There was no blowouts at all. Tell the two.
You're going to see
the 2 versus 11 was Michigan versus Michigan State.
That would have been round. What it would have been round 2.
Georgia versus Utah.
And Utah done look like we
Cincinnati versus Oklahoma State.
That was a good one.
Notre Dame versus Ole Miss. Are you serious? That would have been some good ass games.
But see, the problem is most people don't care about having good games. They care about a championship, and that's it, and they done. And that's where we are.
What do you think is going to happen? I just proved my point. Dog, it didn't. Those games
you don't have to do a 1 versus 12 because that's why you say, well, what happens then? Oh, guess what? Your top 4 can still get a bye.
Yes. Right. That's what I was about to say. I don't think we would get a 1 because again, we got to shorten it somehow, some way. So people are going to have bias. We're not going to have a continuous top 4 get a bye rounds. Like
and then because you can't.
And I think another part that people miss is that they talking about too many games. Well, if I'm a lower seed, the probability of me playing all the way to championship night is kind of small. I'm not saying it can't happen, but the probability of it is not. Now, if I'm a top seed, I get a bye. So now it shrinks it again. You know what I mean? So, man, I say get rid of
your regular season still has value.
And we really talking about maybe 1 extra game at most. You know what I'm saying?
Because if you take away one of these money games that we give to these schools that come to your school to play, get rid of that. Add a conference game. Put that in there, and then you win your outright championship game instead of having a conference championship game. Yes, they are beautiful on paper, but if we're going to have a real playoff to determine a winner of say all be all, that's how we could do it. That's one way we could knock that out. Knock out your conference championship game, knock out that, and add your conference game, and you go 9 games into your conference.
Well,
the SEC got 16 teams now, so it'll be 5 teams that'll probably play each other.
Right.
But you got, but in the end, you know, we gonna, because let's not get off on that because we're gonna have a whole show on that part of it. But you got to just give credit where credit is due tonight. And I get the part about you don't want to change the outcome, or you don't want to change, you know, it might not change what happened, who's gonna meet, but when we get to the Final Four, do we remember that first round upset?
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Guys. We don't. But it made us do what? Watch the tournament.
Right.
You watching the whole tournament. And I'm not comparing basketball and football. I'm just talking about the optics of the situation. Like, it makes you watch. And you might say we come up with the same result. It's not about changing the result. We have the playoff. We have BCS because of what? Money.
Yep. And I think injury here, injury there. I just don't want to hear the injury excuse because we watch these games and we've seen people get injured pre-game. We've seen people get injured in game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, you know, don't cry injuries when it just so happens to fall on you. I will tell you right now, I watched Nick O'Leary get injured in the fucking warm-ups before the Oregon game. And people want to always talk about what happened with FSU. Nigga, he got injured in the goddamn warm-ups, bro.
Hey, bro, don't take no more shots.
So don't talk to me about injuries because injuries happen.
But see, you know, injured the word we were talking about. The problem you taking it so like to
personal. I'm not. I promise you. I'm just saying injuries.
They got the group business, dog.
Injuries happen. I'm just saying they happen whether it's pre-game, warm up, in game. Injuries happen to crucial people.
But I don't. That's not even what we're talking about right now. We're talking about. Let's just go back to what we were saying before we get out of here with the game. With the game itself, there were 4 or 5 crucial plays that were either made or not made. Some adjustments that happened, some things that happened, like we said. Just give a shout out to Georgia. Bama gonna be right there next year. And guess what? You don't know what they finna do now that they can concentrate on the transfer portal.
Yeah,
Because the transfer portal is getting deeper every day. A lot of kids were waiting after this game because see what was going to happen and how things were going to roll out. But man, look, we still got more shows and more stuff coming. We know it's late at night. We need to go ahead. People have to get up and go to work in the morning, man.
Oh man,
we will be back here soon. Holler back us, man, on YouTube, man. Like and subscribe. And if y'all want something, man, y'all know how to hit us up. Y'all see everything up aboard, DSL Podcast on Twitter, Downside Football Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Also at the bottom, man, you got the Cash App, and you also got the website, DSLpodcast.com, to go get your merch, man. Holler at us, man. But we'll be back soon with a more recap of where we think things are going to move forward. A lot of kind of stuff like that. So
because of Will say you triggered by that old lyrics.
Hey man, I'm just saying I don't want to shit by injuries. I'm just saying I want to shit by injuries.
Hey.
I want to shit by injuries.
Hey, we done. Anyway, fellas, we finna get out, man. It's almost midnight, man. We'll be back here soon, man. We'll see y'all, man. We out.
Peace.
Peace.